Okay, this is recording 654, 654. Okay, so, oh my God, this recording is going to be all over the place. Okay, so the other night, she put a delta wave in my head. And remember, I told you what delta waves are. It's when she creates artificial dreams. And remember, I explained how they work. Okay, so she made a delta wave and she stuck it in my brain. And this is what she did. She had her givers and receivers on, okay? And I wake up in my brain, but I'm like unconscious, but I'm conscious. So, but I'm like suppressed where I can't like all I can do is see and witness what's going on in my brain, but I can't, my motor functions in my brain to stop what's happening is not working. Okay. So, she's got my brain suppressed, and it's even stronger suppressed now than how she suppressed me. And I've had to fight my way out of more than a couple of delta waves that she's put me in, where my body goes into like survival mode and I like have to fight my way awake and conscious, trying to fight through it because I'm recognizing that it's an artificial dream and I'm trying to make myself conscious and awake, and I literally have to fight my way through it. And it's like, it feels like you're drowning and you're trying to come up for air and you just can't get to the top of the water fast enough is what it feels like. But it's like my brain is like, I don't even get to experience even the fighting to come out of it. It's like I'm paralyzed now. It's so strong. So anyway, okay, so she put this delta wave in my brain. Okay, so you know Jean's brother. She's got two brothers, okay? So one of them was the one in prison, and the other one was in prison too. The other one is Jeffrey Dahmer. And then she's got the other brother that was in prison, okay? And he's out here running this. I mean, he's in Charles Manson with her. It's her and her sister and her brother. So anyway, so she puts in my brain, remember the Pirates of Penzance delta wave in my earlier recordings? Okay, she overwrote that, trying to wipe it out somehow. I don't know how, because it's not like the whole world doesn't have all this audio. So anyway, she tried to overwrite that doing her Kentucky thing. And then, so she's insulting them and she's hurting them. And then she's hurting African Americans. Okay. So this is what she does. She takes 3 black and white mixed children and she wraps them up in leaves and she layers them. Like, remember how in the Pirates of Penzance, how I told you how they were all like rolled up like coin rolls being stupid or whatever? Okay, so she replaces them with that. And then she's making a reference. I can't remember how she did this, but she's making a reference to, these are Jeffrey Dahmer's children. Okay, so she's telling me it's Jeffrey Dahmer's children is what she's saying. And then she's got Mario's stepdad in it. And you know I can't stand that sick blood. And you know that's one of Jean's secret freaking workers, one of her little terror workers. You know how she throws them around freaking everywhere. She constantly does like overlays of herself as me, or she overlays that motherfucker. So like I'm sitting here and all of a sudden it's like a presence goes over me and she overlays. It's overlays. She's overlaying people. Right now she's got overlay today and yesterday. You know, the blonde reporter on the 5 with the glasses. Every time somebody tries to talk through me, or every time I try to talk, she hurries up and overlays her persona. And then somebody said they were her just now when I was outside. And they said, I'm underground, rescue me. And they said, somebody said, she goes, she's saying in my brain, or telling people, or trying to signal to people, and she's like winking her eyes and shit. And she's going, hack Christina. And they're saying, no, Christina is a Secret Service informant. Do not hack her. She has a right to make reports against Gene Roberts and her Manson occult. Gene Roberts is a terrorist and a trafficker. Do not hack Christina. If you hack Christina, there's snipers everywhere. You will probably get shot. Everybody knows you guys are terrorists. So anyway, this conversation, she's going, that's not true, in my brain. Bullshit if it's not true. So anyway, she goes, so then she goes, I can't, she goes, so they're saying that. And then she goes, I don't know. She keeps overlaying my image on Christina. I know that Christina is innocent. I know that Gene is guilty. I can't hear anything Christina is saying when Christina is talking because she has me muted and I don't know what's going on. And please rescue me. I'm underground here and I can't get out of here. And then someone started screaming and they started yelling at Gene Roberts and they started like screaming and cussing at her, and they're like, why are you fucking lying to people in Hollywood? Why are you lying to people in Hollywood? Everybody has Christina's website. Everybody has her recordings. Everybody has her decode. Everybody knows what you guys are up to. Why do you continually lie to people in Hollywood? And then she gave some muddle fucking butt fucking stupid as usual fucking answer. I don't even know what she fucking said. I just turned her ass out. So anyway, I came in. Now I'm in here making my recording. But so then she's got him in it, and then she's got her givers and receivers on, the people controlling my brain, and then the people acting like them or whatever they're doing. I don't know. She's like using like CG, she's using CGI is what she's doing, which I know you know that, but she's like, they're like dialoguing and acting with each other, like they're performing little skits with each other. And I'm like trying to like, becoming conscious, and I'm seeing what's going on, and I'm like, you're fucking sick. And I'm like, African Americans are gonna fucking kill you, Gene Roberts. They're gonna fucking kill you. So anyway, that was that Delta wave. Okay, so now moving forward. So AIW 70s when I was a little girl in grade school in East Globe. Okay, so remember I told you about the water toy when I was at the babysitter's house? The babysitter that used to babysit me. The one where I begged my mom to play. I did not beg my mom. Stop talking like you're me. Stop impersonating me. When the babysitters were over and I was begging them to play the Bee Gees on the record player, and then the needle broke and it was a major catastrophe in the house. Okay, those babysitters. Okay, so those babysitters had that water toy that I decoded, the one where you pour the water in it and you push the little white button, and then the little plastic rings float around in the water and they land on the ice pick looking thing. Okay. So someone else pointed out to me, that goes to April Showers. So April was the name of a girl that I was in grade school with. Okay. And there's more that goes to this, and now I can't remember what it is. But, so the Showers, it goes to the water, it goes to April Showers, and it has something to do with the ice pick. Now I can't remember what it is. Probably running rackets or whatever is probably what it is, because I already decoded that. There's something missing here that I can't remember what it is, but I just noted the important part was April Showers. So maybe, I know what it was. it was the 4 maybe, because she put cameras in my dad's guest bathroom showers, and then she had a remote access to it, and she would light it up, and it would light up as a melon color. So 4, she was probably saying the Marines are doing it, and the Marines weren't doing it. Jean was doing it, trafficking people in my dad's house, including me. But she traffics showers everywhere. She's got cameras in showers everywhere. She's got cameras in everybody's houses in Tulsa, everywhere. So I don't remember if that's what it goes to, but I just remember the April showers was important. Then also, okay, so see, I'll decode on Milton Berle, okay? Remember, Milton Berle is the name of the Abajo in New Mexico, okay? So, okay, and then AIW 70s, my grade school friend named Brad. See, I'll code on Brad, beginning to end. And then also what a Brad is. It looks like a bar stool is what it looks like. It looks like a little V too. It looks like a V. Okay, so Milton Bradley. And I already decoded Milton Bradley, but that shows you the level of stalking she has on the city of Tulsa, using AI on the city of Tulsa. I mean, she is literally stalking the crap out of everyone here. It's like Tulsa's like her little dollhouse. Okay, and then, okay, and then also, this goes to, remember when I told you Jean robbed the cartel, okay? And you know the size of the safe. I told you it's like the size of my back patio in my backyard. Well, my office that I'm in is like the size of the safe also. So anyway, you've got my coworkers that have name similarities to my life, okay? And then you have me, okay? And then you have Milton Bradley. Okay, Milton Bradley goes to New Mexico. So I'm wondering if the money that she robbed is either hidden in New Mexico or she stole it from a safe in New Mexico. Okay. And also New Mexico, the initials of New Mexico are NM. So mine. And then you also have Mine Shaft. And then you also have Roswell. You also have Los Alamos. And then you also have the Manhattan Project. And then I went and looked up more on New Mexico to see if there's more, because every time I go back to something, I always find out something more. So here's more pertinent information that goes to this. So training and bases. So numerous military installations were built, including Kirtland, okay, which is also Kirkland, okay, Kirtland Air Force Base, which trained the bomber crews and was involved in atomic weapons development, and the Alamogordo Army Airfield, which I was like, oh my God, Alamogordo, that's a website that I used to love, and I just went to it again, seeing if it's still up, and it's still up, and it has all kinds of fortune-telling stuff on it. It has like Baba Vanga and Edgar Cayce and Nostradamus, that kind of stuff. So anyway, I just went on there and I was like, and had something highlighted about Hopi prophecy. And I'm like, let me go look up Hopi prophecy again. I read about it before. Let me go read again years later. Let me go read now. So I go and read about Hopi prophecy and I'm freaking out, because everything that Hopi prophecy says is coming true, and we're in the throes of it right now. I mean, it literally lines up. And like I said in my earlier recordings, you'd want to take Hopi prophecy, you'd want to take Nostradamus, you want to take Mayan prophecy. And I also just learned there's Osage prophecy. You want to take all of that, and then you want to take all biblical scripture and create overlays and see how everything lines up. And I bet you everything all lines up together. So anyway, and Baba Vanga lines up too. I was going through Baba Vanga, and I even did the math on the numbers on the years, and even the numbers work out. They decode out. And they're up and they go up and down. And here's the thing on Baba Vanga. Baba Vanga is advanced. I mean, she has the world ending in 5,000. Okay, so everything is spanned out until the year 5,000. But as you read through all of it, you see, well, this is happening now. This is happening now. This is happening now. So it's like everything is rolled back or advanced or pushed forward, like everything is compressed. And then someone said, even that going back, pushing, speeding up everything is making everything go back. Even that's AIW. So Baba Vanga is definitely worth investigating, like going through Baba Vanga. So anyway, so now it's Hollow Man Air Force Base, which trained bomber crews and tested aircraft. Also in this is Days of Our Lives, which connects to White Sands, New Mexico. And then also in this, enlisted men drawing cameras to go up in a Beechcraft AT-11 on a bomb spotting missions at Roswell Army Flying School. Population, 531,818 in 1940, date 1941, 1945 casualties, and then 2,349 events, Lordsburg killings, and then July 27th, 1942. So then again, you have your 972. Then you have escape from Fort Stanton. And then you have November 1st through 3rd. And my birthday is 11/13/71. November 1st through 3rd, 1942. And that would be World War II. Then you have the Bat Bomb incident. You have May 15th, 1943, the Santa Fe riot, which you'd probably want to go back and look through that, because that Santa Fe occult, okay, where all those people died, that's a crime that Jean committed. I bet you that's her occult. That's one of her, like, they're all meshed together. Okay, so then March 12th, 1945, and then you have the Trinity explosion, and Trinity is the owner of the website where I met my ex-husband, Ben. Godlike Productions. The Trinity explosion, July 16th of 1945. Then you have between 1942 and 1945 from Guadalcanal, okay, similar to my husband's last name. And then somebody say hello to Trinity. Hello, Trinity. I got to talk to you in mental telepathy a few times. He knows that I've been falsely accused, and obviously you can see here I've been falsely accused, and you can see clear who is the freaking perp, Jean Jernigan Roberts. But everybody just loves to worship that sick lady. She assaulted me. She assaulted my ex-husband. She assaulted several people on there, trying to get away with it all. Like I told you, I even decoded where she was trafficking and selling her grandchildren. Okay, so anyway, so 1942 and 1945 from Guadalcanal, so it sounds like Guadarrama, and then to Okinawa, okay, which is where my dad was stationed. And that was in 1979. So this all links up to New Mexico. So then that gives you her way back then, as I've decoded a million times before, trying to frame the Marine Corps. Okay, then 1979, you have the Iran hostage crisis. Okay, now remember, I grew up in Globe. I told you the hostage crisis in Iran is permanently a part of me. It's like yesterday. Okay, and I told you one of the people held hostage was from my hometown, Globe, Arizona. Okay, so anyway, connected to this is including Joe P. Martinez of Taos, Taos. And here's something else that got me. I decoded gene encoding the Taos hum. And I did not know there was a Taos, New Mexico. And I figured out by decoding more that she was referring to Lake Tahoe, Nevada. But I was like, oh my God, there's a Taos, New Mexico. So the first Hispanic recipient for actions in the Aleutian Islands campaign. And then Aleutian. Jean is running a con. She is lying about me. She's running a child trafficking ring. She is a child abuser and she is a terrorist. And she keeps committing terrorism and she keeps running her child trafficking ring, making money and committing more and more terrorism. And her whole hopes is to break down the United States government. Today, somebody said to me, they said it through music and they said, your government's gone. No, the United States government is still here. Nobody's handing it over to Pedo Jernigan and her fucking Charles Manson hussies. That's not the way, nobody in the United States is going to allow that to happen. Nobody's okay with that. They're not okay with people ice raping babies, children, and adults and silencing them from telling on their abusers, such as I am making reports against Jean for abusing me all of my life and stalking and trafficking me. The United States population is not your science experiment robot population. So no, nobody's going to be handing over this nation to Jean Jernigan Roberts. So anyway, okay, so, all right, so in the Aleutian Islands, Harold Herman, Moon of, and then you have, oh, well, there's a connection too, Herman, what is that called? South of Las Vegas. Oh my gosh, what is that called? Henderson. So Henderson, Herman, and then also the Munsters. Herman and then Moon Jr. of Albuquerque for actions during the Battle of Leyte, Leyte in the Philippines, and Jose F. Valdez. Now that's going to connect to the Exxon Valdez disaster. Jean Roberts committed that crime also. And then that also connects in because, okay, so my last husband, he's got family from Alaska. Okay, so that also connects to the Titanic. Okay, so the Baked Alaska part of it. Okay, so the Baked Alaska part of my decode on decoding the Titanic sinking. Okay, that connects also to Globe, Arizona, because that connects to the flan, Mrs. Keegan's flan. Because it's lemon meringue. It's what is stuff I can't stand. Okay, so of Gubernado for actions in German-occupied France. Okay, so the name of the Marine who was held hostage in the Iran hostage crisis in 1979, okay, his name was Jimmy Lopez. And you see how close his name is to Joe P. Martinez? Okay, so... all right, he was Marine Sergeant Jimmy Lopez from Globe, Arizona. He was a Marine security guard during the 1979 Iran hostage crisis, who was instrumental in helping 6 Americans escape the U.S. Embassy before he and others were captured, while the larger group of 52 Americans were held hostage for 444 days. Lopez and the others who escaped with the help of the Canadian embassy were freed earlier. Heroism at the embassy. When Iranian militants stormed the U.S. embassy in Tehran on November 4th, 1979. You have to see all decode on the Iran hostage crisis. Sergeant Jimmy Lopez was the main Marine Guard on duty at the consulate. He single-handedly held off the attackers for nearly 3 hours using tear gas, grenades, and other measures, delaying the militants and allowing about 60 people, including 14 Americans, to escape through a side door. And also notice my house in Globe on East and Cottonwood under the basement was a side door. Remember to get in the back into the basement? Okay, so she's also making a reference to my house in East Globe too. So, and here's another reference of her again trying to frame the Marines. And she's also trying to frame Iran here because the Iran hostage crisis, that's Gene Roberts, Charles Manson, a cult underneath that. That is not Iran's doing, and that's not the Marines doing. That is Gene goddamn Roberts. I've decoded it so many times, it's insane. She committed that crime. And what is she doing today? She's holding people hostage. I mean, when are people going to stop helping this stupid bitch and start turning her in? And no, I'm not talking to anybody who's already been like, over the past week, like, we're turning Jean in. We're turning Jean in. We know that she's guilty. We have everything finally. Okay, so, okay. All right. Now also, okay, so AIW 86 when I was in high school. Okay. So Excel Robertson. Okay. Jean also did this. So see all code on that. Okay. So Jean also did this. She came up with the phrase sleeper cells. It didn't get made up from George Bush's media team. Jean Roberts made it up. That's based off of me and Excel Robertson. And remember what I told you what Jean said? All snitty in a text message? Sleeper cells are everywhere. So see all code on everything, sleep and sleeper. Okay, and then another thing that goes to the Meet Your Maker. Okay, so AIW 1971. Actually, it would be, I was born in November. She assaulted me by breaking into my mom and dad's house. She had to do it. I didn't say she had to do it. Nice fucking try, Jean. See, now they know for sure you're fucking guilty. She's controlling my speech. What I'm trying to say is it would have been in January because that's when I would have been 2 months old. Okay, so I don't know how she did it. I can see her doing it in my brain. I can see her assaulting me. I can see myself on a changing table and I can see her assaulting me with a pencil. I don't know if she broke in. I don't know the constructs of how she did it, but I can see her doing it. Okay, so here's more of that. Okay, so this is going to gross you out, but Jean did this, Jean did this, Jean did this, Jean did this. So, okay, so make and Meet Your Maker. Okay, so remember I told you she uses AI to get people involved in relationships. She like eyes you, you're a guy, and she's not just eyeing you, she's inside you. She knows your inner working, she knows everything about you. And then she sees the girl and she's inside you. And she knows your inner working. She's controlling. She's doing that same to both of you. And then she's like, I'm going to put these two together. Because if they have a baby, and she's not, if they have a baby, nice try again, Jean. When she conceives you, because she can't control conception, she controls cycles, she controls conception, she even controls delivery dates. So even though it's your body, your family, your life, you are being controlled with ice by Jean. And she's been doing that for 60 years. Now, this is my problem, which is pretty much Hollywood's same problem, which is pretty much Washington's same problem. She controls you, and stalks you your entire life. So she is so comfortable abusing you, controlling you. She claims she owns you to people. And this also, Ku Klux Klan does this too. So she literally thinks you're her. So it's like she's literally like she's like literally you're living your life happy go lucky, but she is controlling stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, so she makes you, like with me, she made me, like quote made me, and then she makes me, like kills me. So she did that too. So meet your maker also, when she assaulted me with the pencil, meet your maker. She also did that too. MEAT. And then also note in the 70s, paper mate pens came out with erasers. Remember when those first came out? But she assaulted me with the pencil. Okay, so then also with meat is machete, and then CAIW, 6th grade when I went to Pomeroy. Okay, see all code around the machete and all our future plans of terrorism with machete knives, all kinds of knives. Okay, so also she did this pencil box. She did that too to me. Okay, so now moving ahead again. So also see all code on the invention of the slang word narc. Okay, so again, how do you know the gene is guilty? Well, let's just get real stupid here. Okay, that's not a coincidence. I'm in Oxford sober living, and for narcotic abuse, I've been sober like almost I'm 3 to 4 years now. As she pre-planned for me to be on drugs when I was a child, CLD code. And then now I'm narking on her, and she's trying to steal from me. And she's trying to pretend that she's some kind of narc. And she's the damn perp. So narc and narc. Okay, so see all code. I decoded so much on the narc word. Okay, the beginnings of it, all of it, everything. She pre-planned it all. And then also she suffers from NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. She wants me mad. She wants the world mad, which is why she hacked me. Which is why she is preventing me from making regular reports. But like the CIA said, they do not like being hacked. Gene Roberts assaulted me, decided to tell lies about me for money, and thought she would silence the United States government, thought she would silence Hollywood, thought she would silence everyone, and she'll just take over with her freaking Manson hussies, and she'll handle everything, and everybody can go home. The United States is hers now. And nobody's going to let that happen. She is a terrorist and a child abuser and a child trafficker. So also in this, okay, my childhood nickname is Nina. Okay, so in the word narc is also Nina and Christina. Okay, then also, then Raw, then Rick, then Ark, then Arkansas, then Car, then Cartel. Okay, so she did all that. Okay, so, and you know all of her lies, and you know what she's guilty for. And this is not a way for her to make arrears by making up lies and continuing to try to get away with doing the same old damn thing. Okay, also that goes to the pencil is how she used the Flashdance movie as a theme in doing the World Trade Center attack. Okay, one of the theme songs from the Flashdance soundtrack is He's So Dull. Okay, so you have Dulles Airport in Washington, D.C. You also have dull pencil. Okay, and then what's the opposite of dull? Sharp. See all code on sharp. Then you also have flash in the pants. So she did that to me also. And then you also, this is so disgusting. And he was like one of my favorite guys on TV when I was little. I watched Flash Gordon all the time. Flash Gordon. She did that to me too when I was a baby. Okay, then also, The Watcher in the Woods, AIW 70s. Remember I told you when I went to the movies, I was in grade school and we walked to the movie theater. My mom dropped us off at the movie theater and there was some weird guy hiding behind the movie screen. and we were watching The Watcher in the Woods. Okay, so see all code on all of that. Okay, then, okay, so when I was at the movies, all I can remember is a scary movie, some guy hiding behind the movie screen, like peering out the side at us. And then I was eating Rolos. Okay, so this is what she's doing there. She's trying to not only blame and this is all lies that she's telling. This is how elaborate her setup is. She's trying to blame African Americans and she's trying to blame Latin Americans, or she's trying to blame African Americans. She's trying to blame brown and black people, saying that they did this to me and they did not do this to me, stalking me all of my life. Jean did this. Jean Jernigan Roberts of Milton, Florida. You know her little food fetishes. Her whole world revolves around selling children with food, and women too. Probably men. And the whole world just has to be aware until Jean gets arrested. That's what Jean is doing. And you're going to have to just go on about life as usual and just realize that a child predator, terrorist trafficking bitch is got her freaking nasty fucking claws in the Department of Agriculture and thinks she's just going to like get the fuck away with everything and just make reports against her. And that's what I do. I just make reports against her. So anyway, Rolos goes with Roland. So this advances forward to my 7th grade year to Roland Guzman. Okay, so you know Guzman is a famous last name. Guzman is one of the top leaders of the cartel. So Roland Guzman, and also at the same time, that was when the British explosion happened in music, and we got all that synth pop in from England that was really popular, like Duran Duran and Thompson Twins and all that, Flock of Seagulls, all that. Okay, so anyway, my first little boy is like that, technically my second boyfriend, but like my first like real little boyfriend. Okay, that was his best friend's name. Okay, so I already know his name was Steve Severin. Okay, look at his name, SS and then Severin. Okay, so that tells you again she was stalking the ever-living shit out of him, and see all decode, and you can see what kind of nasty shit she did to him. Stalking the hell out of his family too. Okay, his best friend's name was Roland Guzman. Okay, now, they both were skaters, and Steve was shorter and Roland was tall. Roland was really tall. So she was stalking the hell out of Roland Guzman too. So I bet you anything, he's got heavy cartel. I mean, I bet you he's in direct cartel lineage, because Jean is like, I'm just gonna have a field day. I mean, she carried on from my grade school years, from my preschool years to my grade school years to my junior high years. Trafficking and stalking all of me and all my friends, including all of our families. So then also that came out during that time was Roland keyboards. Remember those? I mean, you still see those in the music videos. Okay, so inside keyboards is something else. Emery board. Remember I told you about Eunice, the babysitter, when we lived in Globe, and she was doing my nails, and she had the Emery board, and she was doing my nails, and she was pointing out the moons on my fingers. And I decoded all of that, see all code on all that. So the Emery board is there too. So she wants me to look back and remember the Emery board. It's tied to the Carol Burnett. And then I look back in time as a child and realize Jean fucking hired serial killers. Sorry to put F words in my sentences. She hired serial killers, which I mean is Charles Manson and their Zodiac killers, just stalked the ever living shit out of me, along with her and her Charles Manson sisters and they're witches. I mean, they're witches and Satanists, assassins and serial killers. They're Charles Manson. So anyway, if you break that down even more, there's a university in that. I don't know the name of the university. There's like a EMOR university. There's a university that Mork and Mindy is in that, which was also on the air, but I think they came on the air a little bit later, like a couple years later. But no, it was on the same time Happy Days came on, but a little bit later after Happy Days started. So it was around that time frame. Then Emerson, Lake, and Powell. And then Lake Powell said Signs of the Future. And then also CL Code AIW 70s Roll AIDS, when I decoded all the AIDS. Okay, her planning to do AIDS and emit AIDS and start the AIDS epidemic. I decoded so much on AIDS, it's insane. I was in freaking tears over all of it. And everything I decoded, and then I go and do the research, and everything I read about in research is literally, I've got all the ciphers. I'm like, oh my God. So anyway, so then she also did Roll in Roswell. So she tore up Roland Guzman's name to tie it back to me being 2 months old. And then Roll in Roswell, and then New Mexico, and then Robot. She's making up a lie in my brain right now because she's trying to play both sides of this. People signal that she's doing that. I think they stole that from her. Unless she thinks she's getting away. She doesn't realize you're on the internet. She has to realize I'm on the internet. This goes on the internet worldwide. Is Khalid Muhammad in jail and Gene Roberts is running free doing whatever the hell she wants? This is worldwide. Gene Roberts is a terrorist and a trafficker. So Robot Land and Orbit, okay, and then so that would be a Zodiac reference, and then Orbit Gum, and then Orbs, okay, and then you can ask my second husband about that, who thought that was the weirdest phenomenon. He always saw orbs in pictures everywhere, and then I saw in some of my family pictures orbs, and I was like, what is this? But then I wasn't really like, what is this? Because I knew it was artificial intelligence. But I mean, to see older pictures, but AIW has been around since the 50s. And then last night also, she was pulling some kind of damn stunt. She's got a Facebook set up, stealing from me. And there's like all kinds of people commenting on it. She puts all kinds of crap on it, spreads all kinds of lies and crap. And everybody's all on the Facebook party fucking hardy, having a good fucking damn time. Okay, so she put on this long paragraph, and then she signed it with my dad's name, and then somebody cornered her, and somebody tried to do like a mic drop and an announcement or whatever, and I'm like, Gene, you're full of shit. You're completely full of shit. So somebody went and cornered her and said, did you make this up? They're like, no, this is a real affidavit. This is a real statement. And they're like, no, you made this up. This is not real. Tell me now. And they're like, no, it's not real. They made it up. And then they wrote fake on it in my brain, telling people, no, this is fake. Gene is spreading lies on some fucking Facebook account somewhere, pretending that she's Christina, or pretending she's some like speaker of me. I'm Christina. And she's not. She's stalking the shit out of me and pretending to be my friends and family, and has got a bunch of fucking sick, deranged fucking maniacs freaking helping her. Which they're not my problem. They're the CIA's problem. I turn in the leader, Gene Jernigan Roberts. Gene Jernigan Roberts, NavyGal27 at yahoo.com, again, needs to be arrested as soon as possible.